Hey guys, how's it going? This is Will with the Livedraw. I need to make a couple of adjustments. Trying to get this to work out so I can make sure I get everything in here properly. Just a second to reset. Thought I had it spaced out already before I did it. Looks like that's as far as we're going to get to go today. So I'm going to kind of go over a little bit of what I'll be using today first, and then I'll talk to you a little bit about Mrs. Penny Parker. Now, I was lucky enough to find these guys on Amazon. Got them a couple of days ago, so I wanted to try them out just so you guys can see them. It's a 40 pack of these markers. They're about a little bit less than $20 for the package. So, I kind of show you what I'll be working with today primarily. And then I was also blessed enough and fortunate enough to get some markers from work. They did a Dirty Santa, so I used these, and I'll be using these and these as well. And then of course my standard tried and true different supplies. For example, I'll be using my brush pen here with my ink in it. So I'll be using that as well later. And then I'll also be using my Prismacolor markers. One of these days I'm going to figure out how to do this properly. There you go. So anyway, now I'm going to go ahead and start drawing Penny Parker. Now, Penny Parker is one of the different versions of Spider-Man that's out in the multiple universe, multiple realm that they have in the storyline of the movie, as well as she actually has existed in the comics. So she is a character that she definitely, you know, it has that anime inspiration to her. This is where you find out real quick how you're supposed to work this, because I said I'm working with these markers. I've never worked with these markers before, so of course certain things that are happening as I'm looking at them, I'm not necessarily the happiest about them, but we're gonna make it work. That's what we do. So anyway, how are you guys doing? Have you guys got the chance to see Enter the Spider Verse yet? I'm just curious. Anybody seen it? Anybody want to talk about it? You can go ahead and talk about it. I've not seen the movie yet, but I'll be honest, I'm not a person that gets spoiled very easy. So if you have seen it and you want to talk about it, go ahead and talk about it in here, what you think about the movie, things like that. I'll be more than happy to let you do that in the comments below, and that'd be awesome. So just to let you know, don't feel bad. It's like, well, he hasn't seen it yet. Don't worry. I will see the movie, and whether I see it in theaters or whether I see it after it comes out in the wonderful world of Blu-rays and all that stuff, it'll be interesting either way. So, trying to come up with my light source and my dark source here. This may or may not work really well. This may totally not work out well. I don't know for sure. We're gonna try it out. Definitely see what we can do with these markers. This is definitely me testing out the marker set and seeing how they work. So we shall see how they do. But anyway, little history of Penny Parker. She is from the world of 30. I believe her time era is 3035, and she is a spider person that is very much. How do you say she's very much tied to her dad, who was the controller of a spider mech. And so her father controlled a spider mech, and then whenever that spider mech, whenever something happened to her dad, then basically she ended up becoming the new pilot for the spider mech that her dad created. So there was a spider that was inside the mech that apparently gave her the quote permission to take over as the pilot of it. And so the mech, of course, in the Enter the Spider Verse movie is a little bit different. The mech is definitely a lot smaller. I know in the comics it's about 10 foot tall thing. It's pretty cool. It's pretty big and pretty vibrant. But anyway, so she is the pilot. And of course, in the land of the comics, of course, she is Chinese. So, of course, I believe she's Chinese. And she is definitely, definitely fits that moniker for it. But then she also is out there doing her spider thing, trying to save the world as only a Spider Girl should. So I find it quite interesting with her character that she's out there doing what she feels like she can do to help her dad, help her dad's legacy as a person, as a fighter, as a scientist, because she does a lot of stuff on the mech. She does a lot of repairs and stuff as well. She maintains it, and so I think that's really neat to see how they do that. So, anyway, in the Enter the Spider Verse movie, of course, Penny is a character who she definitely is more. What's the word I'm looking for? She's definitely more fangirling. It seems like in the trailers, at least that I've seen and everything, uh, she definitely gets in there and does her thing. But she's at the same time, she's definitely excited about her cohorts in action. And I see somebody's on. I see somebody's jumping in. So comment down below if I haven't seen it. I'm sorry if I didn't see your comment before. Let me know that you're there. I want to hear from you guys as always. I like reading your comments. I like getting in and responding and reacting to things. So, but anyway, this is one of the characters in Enter the Spider-Verse I've not drawn. If you've been following me for a while, I've been drawing a lot of the other characters. I've drawn Miles already. I've drawn Spider-Man already multiple times. I've also drawn Spider-Gwen, who's in the books and also in the movie, and then now I'm drawing Penny Parker. There's one Spider-Man left that's in the main movie. Actually, there's two. I know of something that happens at the end, but I'm not gonna spoil that for you, even though I've not seen the movie yet. But so anyway, there's at least one other Spider-Man that's not mentioned yet. So, but I definitely wanted to get that out there and see what's going on. I can get the color down here. Put that in. I'm working a lot on Penny. Once I get done on her, then I'll also be working a little bit on the mech that she's on. She actually, in the movie, I don't see her in it so far as much. I mean, she's kind of outside of it. Think more like Diva from Overwatch. That's kind of what they did with her in this. Whereas in the comics, she's inside the mech a lot more. That's more Neon Genesis Evangelion style stuff. In her world, she actually ends up fighting a venomized version of a suit. So there's actually a Venom character in her world that comes in. She ends up having to kind of save her friend who's involved in who's doing this Venom thing. So get the tongue in there now. So I'm trying to do something that S Comic Maker does whenever I see her videos. A lot of times she will go in and she kind of goes from the color layer backwards, and so she kind of layers her stuff out, and then um, once she layers her stuff out, of course, then she will come in with her blacks and white last. So I'm kind of trying to do the same thing. I don't know how I'll do this in the future, but right now I'm just trying something out and seeing how it works for me. I do like working with the markers, and one of these days when I actually get the chance to sit down and really work with them, I think that'll be really cool. So while I'm drawing this, anybody excited about their Christmas? I know Christmas is coming in a couple of days. Anybody got any Christmas wishes? Anything that they're interested in getting that they haven't gotten? I'm just curious. I think the thing I always want for Christmas is a little more understanding world. I always feel like the world can understand each other a little bit better, especially in the world we live in right now. It seems like we, as a country, haven't really been together for a while, and so I hope that my hope and prayer is always the same, that we will become a better country, united together, doing things together as a team. Because at the end of the day, no matter what side of things we lean on, we're still Americans. We're still here, and love it or hate it, I still feel like this is the greatest country in the world. It's not perfect at all. I would never say it's perfect, but it's definitely better than other options. There are other places where I know I'd rather not be. So that's how I feel about it. But anyway, so if people ever say, well, what is something you want for Christmas? And I don't ever say world peace as much as I will always say just a better world. So that's one thing I enjoy. That's one thing I like. So band. In the movie version, she has a band. She definitely has that schoolgirl look going on. So they have her doing that, definitely. Speaking about Christmas, what is something that you've gotten on Christmas that you really, really enjoyed getting? That's another question for you. What was your favorite Christmas present like ever? It could be as a child, it could be as an adult, it could be whatever. But think about the coolest Christmas present you ever got. I'd be interested in hearing what that is. I'd be interested to see what's going on with that. I always wonder what people get. I think one of my coolest Christmas presents I ever got was one year I got excuse me, I just got a sketchbook and some clothes. Um, it was not a great Christmas for us, financially that year. It was just a lot. There was just a lot going on, and so my mother asked us what we wanted for Christmas, and I told her, you know, she was like, and I knew they weren't. I knew they didn't have a whole lot going on. I knew they had a whole lot happening with them, and so I remember one night when they thought I was asleep. I overheard them talking. It's just like, we just don't have a whole lot to give this year. You know, so they're really kind of disappointed because they know, with kids, especially, young kids, older kids, they always feel like they expect a whole lot. And I know my brother wanted a Nintendo that year, so they knew it's like, well, he's gonna want a Nintendo, and William's older, so he's gonna want something big too. And so I remembered that, and so then my mom and dad sat us down. It was like, okay, hey guys, what kind of stuff do y'all want for Christmas? And of course, I could have just as easily fed into all that, but I was just like, I said all I need is some, I need a new sketchbook and I need some clothes. She was like, well, I know that, son, but what do you want for Christmas? I said, no, that's what I want. And I didn't do it out of any other reason other than just I knew they didn't have a whole lot. And so why sit there and beg for the moon when you know that you're on a small planet's budget? And so I really just felt like it would be better just to be honest and just say, nah, look, I'm good with this. And my mother cried, and my mother didn't cry often. Like, she wasn't a crier. And so, she just hugged me and she said, I'm so proud of you. And we had a conversation years later, and she asked me, she said, when I asked you that question back then, did you know what was going on with us? I was like, well, I heard you. Over the night, one night, I went to bed, but I hadn't fallen asleep yet, and I heard you and Dad talking in the bedroom, in the living room about it. And so that was whenever she just looked at me, she said, okay. That's when she kind of realized. She was like, him overhearing us may have tainted his decision a little bit, but I'm okay with that. And so that was the greatest Christmas I had. Well, that and the fact that I got to play my brother's Nintendo well before he did. And that's another story. my brother very much wanted a Nintendo, so he got it, and he was just like, "Oh my gosh, got a Nintendo!" But what he didn't know was that before he got the Nintendo, I got to play it. So I don't know if he ever knew that, and if he did, he did. If he didn't, oh well. But that was one of my favorite Christmas moments ever because my mom and dad was just like, "Oh yeah, your dad might need some help with a bicycle or something." And so it's like, okay, sure. And so while I was getting the help, of course, I got to play my brother's Nintendo system. So that was pretty cool. So that was something that was neat and different. I think I know what I'm gonna have to do in this to make this work better. This is definitely me learning how these markers work. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you this is the greatest exercise I've ever done in this. I hope when this all gets done, it comes out well. Not for sure how well it will come out, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna do it together. That's the main thing. So even when you make mistakes in your artwork, one of the things you always want to think about is what can you learn from it. So don't ever feel like that you have to hit everything right all the time. You can learn even from your mistakes, and that's a reality I'd like to share with you. There'll be times where you'll be drawing something and you just be like, "This is not what I want." I wanted it to be this, or this won't look quite like you had it in your head. But I promise you, you never know when you might be able to use that thing for a later time. You'll draw on something and you'll be like, okay, that may not have worked today, but wow, that's really going to be cool for tomorrow. So just something to encourage you. Don't when you're out there drawing, whatever you draw, whatever you like to draw, just know that every drawing is not going to be perfect. But I hope you'll keep doing it. I remember Bob Ross said on multiple occasions, he said, yeah, he's one of our artistic heroes. When it comes to artwork, he always said that there are no such things as mistakes, just happy accidents. And I think if you look at art that way, I think it changes the scope a little bit because what the hope is always the same is that, even if you don't produce what you want to produce, that you produce something great for yourself. I know Bob Ross always wanted that. He always wanted people to create their own thing and do their own thing. I think that's awesome. So I'm going to try to come in and do the skirt for Peni. Actually, I'll try the other side of this first. I'm going to do this a little bit different. I'm going to change it up a little bit. I know hers is striped. Just for time, I'm not going to go through and do the little individual striping. Switch it out a little bit and go back to a smaller plate. And then I drop my lid on it. I'll have to get that in a minute. Tighten it up there. So anyway, like I said, guys, if you see this and you want to talk about how you feel about the Enter the Spider-Verse movie, go ahead. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it if you've seen it. If you're taking your family to go see the movie, I'd love to hear their response as well. Like, did your kids enjoy it? Did their friends enjoy it? Type stuff like that. I've heard nothing but good things about this movie, and of course, when I saw the trailer, I really, really love what they were doing. Spider-Man has always been one of those really cool characters to me, just because of what he represents. So I hope it does well in the land of theaters and such, because I think it's going to be great when it does. I'm really hoping that we get one of the coolest representations of not only Spider-Man but his world. Because I think Spider-Man deserves that as a character. I think he's definitely one of my favorites. The great power comes great responsibility, and even though you have different people from the Spider-Verse, they definitely seem to carry that moniker with them. So I really enjoy that. I'm really glad they all have kind of picked up that same spirit. You know, you have your Spider-Man Noir, you have your, Penny Parker, you have Spider-Gwen, you have Peter Porker even. And yes, the spectacular Spider-Ham is a real Spider-Man character. But they all embody the idea of great power and great responsibility. So I'm glad that that is a thing that's out there. And I'm really glad that, kids can go watch this movie during the holidays and get a sense of something bigger than themselves. And I really hope that's what happens with this movie. I always like heroes because I think they inspire us to be better versions of ourselves. So that's the reason I enjoy these type of films. Anytime they're out there, I want to see them. So I'm going to attempt to see if I can get this blocked in. Start doing my outlining now. Get those fingers in there. Penny, doing the little Asian peace sign across the eyes, going to yata type thing. I think it's cute. Go ahead and get to the outfit now. Go ahead and get to the. There's a lot of parts of her outfit that are white. And so she has like a white t-shirt on and everything, and then she has I say t-shirt, just has a white shirt on. Like I said, she's definitely the Asian schoolgirl idea. So she has the little skirt and the suit and everything. And so, like I said, I hope that she really, I hope that people like the movie. That's the main thing. I think at the end of the day, I hope people enjoy it and that they are able to take their kids and enjoy it together. At the end of the day, man, that's part of it. Movie experience, man, is really supposed to be about the family. And, I mean, if you don't have a family, of course, it's cool to go to the movies by yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. But, to get the chance to go take other people to see a film that maybe you enjoy or project that you enjoy, and then they enjoy it as well, that always means more when you can get other people involved in it, and they can really, become a part of this whole thing with you. I think that's really the neat part of it. So, as I hope you all are enjoying this video as well. Trust me when I say I know it's not perfect. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I'm satisfied with this, because I'm not. But I think there's a learning experience in it. And more importantly than that, I'm definitely going to learn more how to use markers better in the future. So that way in the future when I do these videos, I get the result I want. Because that's part of the journey, right? So don't feel bad for me. Trust me. I am definitely okay with what I'm seeing overall. So there you go. Anyway, guys, I'm going to ask another fun question that you can put down in the comments below since I'm on here. We talked about Spider-Man. We talked about different things. Do you have a favorite Christmas movie? What's your favorite Christmas film? That's another fun question for you. Do you have a movie that you enjoyed watching maybe as a kid? I pulled out the wrong grain. That's totally messed up. But anyway, do you have a favorite Christmas movie that you enjoy? Whether it's from something from when you were a child or something from when you were a little bit older, different things like that. I know at work one day we actually had the discussion about is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Is Gremlins a Christmas movie? And technically they are. The whole point of I read an article somewhere where it talked about the criteria of what to consider, how you consider a Christmas film. And one of the things that they talked about was if the movie if the movie happened during the wintertime. And then the second one was if Santa Claus at some point was in the film. So since Santa Claus is in the movie for you know, Die Hard at one point, and it happened during Christmas, technically, yes, it is a Christmas movie. Now I know, compared to other films, out there that hit the land curve, Christmas films, Die Hard definitely isn't the model of Christmas film, and I can totally understand that. But at the same time, hey, it technically counts as far as the criteria for a Christmas film goes. So, if you've never seen Die Hard, check it out. Just don't watch it with small children in the room because it's definitely not for kids. So, definitely not a kids film. Definitely not a kids movie at all. But it's definitely a movie that merits with other Christmas films in its own way. You know. So yeah, Bruce Willis, back in his prime. There you go. There's an idea for you if you haven't seen it before. Gonna go ahead and switch this up a little bit. By the way, guys, another thing I'm going to ask is if you have any ideas for future draw videos. Of course, with the holidays being as they are, of course, this will be the last video I do. I may do one on New Year's Eve. It just kind of depends. I know we got Christmas coming up. Of course, I'll be celebrating my Christmas on Monday, and then I work Tuesday on Christmas Day. So that ought to be interesting. Trust me, there'll be many a story to tell, I'm sure, about that. A lot of people are like, well, you work for a hotel place. Surely there's not going to be that many stories. Oh, trust me, there will be. If for no other reason, just because, we are going to have people calling me in the last minute upset about something. So I'm sure they'll call us. Part of the job, though, So I'm not upset about it. It's just funny. Because you'd think people would be like, I'm going to spend the holidays with my family and stuff like that. That's not the way it works, typically. So, yeah, I don't expect that to be the case. But anyway, I will be celebrating, the holidays. And then I will, of course, go back to work for normal. Of course, New Year's Eve, I think, and New Year's Day, we're working normal schedules. But I want to hear from you guys. I know I'm going to be doing a video sometime in the next few days telling y'all where we're headed in 2019 and what I'm going to be doing in 2019. So my plans, as far as not just illustrating, but also writing, as far as what I want to work on in the next year. And so I want to kind of show you guys a little peek behind the window of that so that way you can see where we're headed. So that way you can not only continue to grow with this channel, but you can also share it with other people that you know and love. So there you go. So and then let's go into the bot. And to be honest, I don't know. I think they just call it Spiderbot, to be honest. And I don't know that there's another name for him besides that. So the thing that I think that's cool about the version that they do in the movie is that the version that they do in the movie is he has like emoticons. And so his face changes to different things to represent different things as he's in there. So I like that idea that, it expresses differently. Of course, the version of it that we got in the comics, like I said, it's very much Neon Genesis Evangelion style. It's very mech style, 10-foot tall mech body. So I don't know if that would have worked in a kid's movie type setting. So I think that's why they changed it to make it a little bit more cutesy. But yeah, so he's definitely out there doing his thing. And so he has the different faces that you'll see at different times. Like sometimes his face will have like a smile on it. Other times you just see the spider eyes. Other times you may see just this look of concern. But I don't think the bot talks. He just kind of expresses through his face a lot. So that's why you see that. So I'm gonna tighten that up. Go ahead and get the arm in there. And Get the eyes. I'm going to pull this up a bit so I can get to the bottom of that. I didn't think this was going to quite go this long. But I'm glad y'all are with me for it. We're just about done, guys. Appreciate you rocking with me on this video. And I hope you enjoy it. Above all else, I hope that you will. I hope that you'll draw during the holidays. I know a lot of the kiddos that watch this channel. I know they're gonna be out of school doing things. So take some time, draw some things you like. That'd be awesome. We'll finish this just up here in just a second. And there we go. There's Penny Parker with her spider bot. I hope you guys like it. I appreciate you rocking with me on this video. And first of all, I hope that you and yours will have a wonderful holiday season, no matter what holidays you celebrate during this time of year. And above all else, guys, do me a favor, be blessed and be blessing to somebody. Till next time, if you don't hear from me before then, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all. Take care, guys.